Well, hello everyone and welcome back to part 2. As you can see, Qantas 737's just arrived. Lateness, we kind of accidentally left a microphone back. We had to go back and get it. We're also currently sitting in my car and Vinny is doing his thing. So currently at the top left of the frame, getting ready to depart for Melbourne is Qantas flight 453. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello from my car. And there we go, Qantas 453 bound for Melbourne, departing off runway 25. Also currently holding short is a Gulfstream 650. Now, I'm not sure where this aircraft will be departing for, as it's not listed on Flight Radar 24, but I guess we'll never know. Currently on short final is Jetstar Flight 112 from Auckland, an A321neo. When I say short final, look to your left, you should see an aircraft coming in. Hello everyone and welcome back. So sorry for our delay. We left a microphone back at Sheps Mounds. We had to go back and get it. As I said just a moment ago, currently landing on runway 25 is Jetstar Flight 112 from Auckland. Also in the distance is a Finnair A330-300. This aircraft is usually used for flights between Sydney and Bangkok, operated as QF295, I believe. Vinny is currently chuckling back here. I know he can hear every word I say through the mic. Hi Oscar, how you doing, mate? I'm doing well. Currently at the threshold of runway 25 here at Sydney. Currently sitting in my car because it is way too cold to sit out in the That sounds so cool. Oh my god.
The microphone is picking up. This microphone, my camera's picking up so well.
Oscar, yes, I am doing this from my car at the moment. It is way too cold to be outside at the moment, so we retreated to my car, and we're now at the threshold of runway 25. Yes, this is right now. This is live. Hello, Aviation 800. How you doing? Currently on short final for runway 25 is Qantas Link Flight 404 Delta from Mildura. We saw this aircraft depart earlier today, and now she's coming back for the return flight. She's 600 feet off the ground, should be landing in just a few minutes. Yeah, and here she comes now. I wish I was streaming until 11 p.m. No, I will be streaming until about 5:30. I accidentally So we left some equipment back at Sheps Mound where we were originally filming, and we didn't realize it until we got got here. So we had to drive back to get it, and that caused about a half an hour delay, didn't it? Yeah, Vinny is with me. He's my cameraman. I'm doing great, Aviation 800. I'm doing great. Yes, Owen, I remember you from earlier.
It's so good to leave the car now.
Yeah, it's so much nicer.
100%.
Currently taxiing straight towards us is Jetstar Flight 460, an Airbus A320, 200 with Sharklets, bound for Ballina Byron Gateway. Not Swiss 002. I am currently streaming just short of the threshold here at Sydney Airport, runway 25, so the eastern runway. We have a plethora of different aircraft that'll be departing soon, such as a British Airways 787 and a Qantas A380. QF1 will be departing soon. Damn, my cameraman really needs to work on his angles. Apparently we've got an issue, we're just trying to fix it. Yes, correct. Single runway operations at the moment. The weather in Sydney is the winds in Sydney are quite strong at the moment. And coming in right now is Qantas Flight 446 from Melbourne, a Boeing 737-800, registered as Victor Hotel, Victor Yankee Alpha. Oscar, I'm not sure if Sid Squad is streaming today. I don't actually work for them, so I don't really know, to be honest. Lewis, I presume that the Sri Lankan A330 will be landing on 25, but you never know. What happened with us previously at the at Sheps Mound is we had runway operations change halfway through the stream. I will be posting that stream later on today, whenever I get to it. Is it already public? Oh, really? Why doesn't it appear for me? That's weird. And just about to depart off runway 25, Jetstar Flight 460 to Ballina. Oscar Wire, yes, we can point at the tower. Just give me one moment. Currently taxiing straight in front of us is Rex Flight 6133 to Marimbula, or Marimbula, however the heck you pronounce it. It's a Saab 340B Plus that will be departing in just a few moments. Zulu, Romeo, Zulu. 1 second. So, interesting development. We have just had security tell us to move. Which is going to be interesting. I don't know how we're going to do this.
No clue.
Okay. Okay. Is it possible you can pause the stream?
Not really pause it, but we could just make a quick break scene and just make it stop.
Hi all, we've moved again. And just in time, the BA 787-9 Speedbird 16 bound for Singapore and London Heathrow is just departing. Also taxiing straight at us is QF1, a Qantas Airbus A3. That was very loud. Is a Airbus. They should be arriving approximately the same time. Now Vinny is ahead of me. It's an interesting scene here. What's P3? Everyone keeps saying P1. No, I cannot go to P3. It costs money to go in there. Expensive. $20 for 15 minutes. I am aware that P3 is good for plane spotting. I usually go there for the start of my videos, but unfortunately it costs money to get in there, and I have no money at the moment. So yeah, directly in front of us, QF1 bound for Singapore. Also, rolling onto the runway, runway 25 here at Sydney, is a Qantas Link flight when it loads. Can you look at the tower, Vinny? The big ass tower, where we were.
Yeah, I was trying to find it.
So just rolling off runway 25 here at Sydney is Qantas Link flight 225 Delta, a de Havilland Canada -H Q400, bound for Wagga. We have 2 A380s that will be departing. It's not rolling yet. Arriving on runway 25 is ambulance 272, operated by Pell Air, coming in from Newcastle. You'll also have to forgive me because we've moved to the other side of the road. There is now traffic that is over, that is in between us and the airfield. Common error. I want to say 100% yes, but it depends whether or not Qantas will be operating the flight on a weekday or not, as I will be starting a new job. Is it just me, or is the camera really dark? Yeah, it's really dark. There you go, that's better. Keep going. Alrighty, currently rolling onto runway 25 is QF1, Sydney to Singapore. The flight time, the total duration between Sydney and London is approximately 24 hours. So this aircraft will not arrive in London until this time tomorrow. Oscar, I don't know how long the delay is. I can't tell you. The current time, looking at my clock, is 3:09:30. Currently taking off directly in front of us is a Bell 40GX helicopter, one of the helicopters that are operated here by Sydney Helicopters. Oscar Wire, I am only streaming because I have reached 3,000 subscribers. Every time I hit a milestone, I will stream. And currently taxiing in front of us is a Singapore Airlines Airbus A380, registered as 9 Victor Sierra Kilo Victor. This aircraft will be obviously flying to Singapore and was built approximately 8 years ago. Thank you, Neil. Hello, I didn't see you before. My apologies. And here we go. Singapore 222 to Singapore. Taxiing also directly in front of us is Qantas Link Flight 106 Delta or 2106 Delta 2106 bound for Coffs Harbour. And landing on runway 25 here at Sydney is Jetstar Flight 516 from Melbourne, an Airbus A321. Also taxiing directly in front of us is Velocity 951 from Brisbane, a Boeing 737-800. And just behind that is a Thai Airways A350-900 from Bangkok. Oscar, I will not be streaming tonight, sorry. Common area, yes, it's quite extraordinary. Sorry, Oscar, I can't. Arriving on runway 25 is Velocity flight number 849 from Melbourne. It's pretty cool. We have quite a lot of aircraft that are departing in front of us. Starting off with Velocity flight 951 to Brisbane. You might also be able to see in the distance, just below the right wing of the Thai Airways aircraft, is another Dash 8 bound for Albury. And the aircraft rolling on runway 25, Qantas Link 2106, bound for Coffs Harbour. And arriving on runway 25 is Rex Airlines flight 6373 from Port Macquarie. We saw this aircraft depart in our previous stream. Correct common error, yes, directly in front of us is Qantas Link flight 2042, or just simply 42 Delta, departing for Dubbo, currently holding short of runway 25 here at Sydney. Hello, King Sharky Plays. And here we go, Thai Airways flight 472 to Bangkok, departing. Lovely departure here. And just on short final is Velocity flight 486 coming in from the Sunshine Coast. Yes, common error. Qantas A380 Victor Hotel Oscar Quebec Kilo. I believe that aircraft was sitting at the hangar bay there to... And Vinny is also sending messages in the chat. Really? Oh, this is an interesting one. We currently have taxiing straight at us a Pilatus PC-24. This aircraft is the flagship aircraft for the New South Wales ambulance, which is operated by Pel Air. This aircraft will be flying to Coffs Harbour. I hope everyone in Coffs is okay. Clearly not. And there she goes, ambulance 273 bound for Coffs Harbour. Common error. To edit my videos, I generally use iMovie as well as using voice recording on my phone for the audio as well as an attached mic. However, for the stream, I'm using Streamlabs. Directly in front of us is Velocity Flight 850, a Boeing 737-800, which will be flying to Melbourne fairly shortly. And taxiing straight at us is QantasLink 6 Delta, or 2006, flying to Tamworth, otherwise known as the middle of nowhere. And coming in for a landing on runway 25, Qantas Flight 579 from the beautiful island of Hamilton Island. And now we have a semi-dual departure. Currently holding short, or rather lining up, is QantasLink 2006. But right in the distance is QantasLink Flight 207 Delta, or 2207, bound for Albury. Thank you, Common Error. Alrighty, and lining up. Alright, and taxiing straight in front of us is Jetstar Flight 954, bound for Cairns. We saw this aircraft earlier today. And rolling on the runway, velocity 850. And just in front of the Jetstar aircraft is velocity Sunshine Coast. Plugged in properly. Is that better? And arriving on runway 25, Qantas Flight 448 from Melbourne. And coming in on short final, Qantas Link Flight 16 Delta or 2016 from Broken Hill. Apologies about that. Common error, I need money for that. Currently, about 6 minutes away from arrival is a UPS 747-400 freighter. We will be capturing that properly. Or rather, we will try to. Yeah, I'm currently waiting on my current job to pay me. And here we go, coming in on runway 25 here at Sydney is Qantas Link Flight 2016 from Broken Hill. And just off to our left here is a Bell 407 Golf X-Ray coming in after a scenic flight over the harbour city. Correct common error. The 747 is coming from Honolulu. And straight in front of us, Qantas Flight 528, a Boeing 737-800 bound for Brisbane. And here we go, coming in on runway 25 is another Qantas 737, also from Brisbane. Vinny, my cameraman, is doing an absolutely fantastic job at trying to navigate with these really not fair cars. Like this particular one. And just about to arrive on runway 25 here at Sydney is Jetstar Flight 415 from the Gold Coast. I said in part one of the stream, but the reason why Gold Coast Airport has a the reason why the Gold Coast has a 3 as OOL as the three-letter code is because of the town that's nearby, Coolangatta. And here we go, Jetstar 415 coming in from the Gold Coast. Just in the distance is Rex 6832, a Saab 340B Plus, just over the horizon, bound for Dubbo. So the UPS 747-400 is currently offshore, about approximately 2.5 minutes away. And pulling onto runway 25 is Qantas Flight 528 bound for Brisbane. And now that we have no new departures or arrivals before the 747, we're going to set up properly. I am now going to go sterile until the aircraft arrives. Here we go. UPS Flight 34 from Honolulu, the United States to Sydney. A Boeing 747-400 freighter as November 573 Uniform Papa. Beautiful arrival by those American pilots. And now rolling onto the runway, velocity 529, also bound for the Gold Coast. And just ahead of that is Jetstar Flight 764, bound for Adelaide. How was that? Did you enjoy the 747? Glad to hear it. And here we go, Jetstar Flight 764 bound for Adelaide, rolling onto runway 25. Careful. So looking at the departures for Sydney, we have a few interesting aircraft departing. For example, in just a few minutes we will be having an Etihad Airways 787, as well as a Sri Lankan A330. We'll also be having our a healthy dosing of A320s, 737s, and Dash 8s. For the arrivals, we will be having an Emirates 777 freighter. We'll also be having Skytrans returning, a Qantas 787-9, and a Singapore Airlines A350-900. However, we might not get to that aircraft. We also have Air Niugini arriving in approximately 40 minutes' time. Now landing on runway 25 here at Sydney, Qantas flight 144 from Auckland. A lot of Kiwis on board that one. I don't know if the camera picked it up or not, but there was a lot of tires screeching. And here we go, taxiing straight at us. Qantas Link flight 445 Delta, bound for Canberra. As to why you'd want to go there, I'll never know. We've now hit a point where the airfield is quite quiet. And there goes past the same security that kicked us off where we were before. Thanks, mate. Love your work. Thanks for keeping Sydney Airport safe from plane spotters. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see it as it's 27,000 feet in the air, but directly above us is Qantas Link flight 1968 from Adelaide, and it's flying to Newcastle. And coming in on runway 25, Jetstar flight 518 from Melbourne. Bit of a rocky landing. And taxiing straight at us, Qantas Link flight 2030 going to Armidale, a de Havilland Canada Dash 8 Q400. And there we go, directly ahead of us. Qantas Link 2030 Delta, bound for Armidale. And now we have 2 emergency aircraft that'll be taxiing straight in front of us and then straight past us as they taxi into the bay. We have 2 Beechcraft King Air 350s from Tamworth and from Dubbo, sorry. Both of these aircraft are Pell Air aircraft operated for the New South Wales ambulance. They are pretty important. Without them, most people would die. Yes, Commoner, I concede on Flight Radar 24. It's not far away now. Approximately 33 minutes, so yes, you will be seeing it.
That's quite expensive. I think that's from the original. Huh?
What's happening? What's everyone waiting for?
We're plane spotters, ma'am. So we're actually filming and taking pictures of the aircraft that depart and arrive.
Oh, okay.
I'm currently live streaming.
Oh, okay. Alright. Because I drive here every day. I've never seen so many cars.
The reason why is because they're at the moment they're doing east-west operations, which means they're flying in this way, which doesn't happen often unless the winds are really strong, which they are today.
Oh, okay. So better shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Alright, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you.
No, Swiss 002. A woman from across the road had just stopped and asked what we were doing, and I told her. But yes, I do swear. And here we go, coming in on runway 25 here at Sydney, a Beechcraft King Air 350C coming in from Dubbo. Also taxiing directly at us is that same King Air 350 that we were talking about before, coming in from Tamworth. It should be coming straight at us and then turning left. Ooh, Etihad Airways coming in from going to Abu Dhabi has now started its right-hand turn. It will be going to the north-south runway. I believe that the single runway ops has ended. If this is the case and we have changed runway operations, we will be moving. Unfortunately, we won't get too much of the Etihad 787 departing for Abu Dhabi. We will only see it in our small, narrow vision. But in the meantime, coming in on runway 25 is Australia's worst airline, Skytrans, coming in from Lord Howe Island. Should be landing in approximately 20 seconds. To those of you that don't know my beef between Skytrans and myself, I have attempted to fly on them 3 times, and every single time the flight gets cancelled and my money has been stolen from me. Yeah, I'm not joking. Vinny is currently looking at me with a wide open expression.
I'm gobsmacked.
3 times, and not once have they committed to the flight.
That's crazy. That's unreal.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's horrid.
No refunds too.
Oh, that's so atrocious.
Exactly. It looks like the majority of flights are still coming in on the east-west runway. I've been tempted to not Swiss 002, but I frankly could not be bothered. Departing directly in front of us is a Robinson R442 helicopter registered as Victor Hotel Yankee Echo Oscar. This aircraft unfortunately is not displayed any destination, but I presume it will be doing a scenic flight over the Sydney Harbour Bridge, Sydney Harbour. Probably is a romantic flight. More than likely. Coming in on runway 25, Qantas flight. Excuse you. Qantas flight 791 coming in from Alice Springs. First time we've seen that destination today. We will then shortly be followed by Qantas flight 180 from Norfolk Island, another first for today. Here we go, Qantas flight 791 coming in from Alice Springs. And here we go, about to start rolling on the main runway, runway 34 left, Etihad Airways flight 451, or simply Etihad 1 Sierra Alpha, departing for Abu Dhabi. Total duration and distance of 6,511 nautical miles. That's quite the length of flight, approximately 13 to 14 hours in the air. Coming straight at us, Qantas Flight 651 to Perth. This aircraft I have flown on before. Victor Hotel, Victor, Zulu Golf. And here we go, coming in on runway 25, Qantas Flight 180 from Norfolk Island. I know how it feels. And here we go, coming in from the Gold Coast, Velocity Flight 526, and departing on runway 25, Qantas Link Flight 651 to Perth. Okay guys, so I have had a proper look at the arrivals and departures. There's not going to be too much more interesting aircraft after 4:30 until well past 6. So unfortunately at 4:30, which is in half an hour's time, the stream will be ending. That is also approximately when sunset will be occurring as well. So we have half an hour left of the stream. Now coming in on runway 25, Velocity Flight 526 from the Gold Coast, a Boeing 737-700. I don't know if you can hear on stream, but there is some significant braking sound back here. And coming in from Perth, Qantas flight 646 departed nearly exactly 4 hours ago. Near perfect flight time. Shortly after that, we will be having Emirates Sky Cargo 777-200 LR. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase. 777-200 Freighter. Should be landing in approximately 3 minutes. And coming taxiing directly in front of us, Qantas flight 459 from Melbourne, to Melbourne, sorry. As you can see, the strobe lights are already on. There's no waiting around for this one. And now coming in on runway 25, one of the last major arrivals today, Emirates Sky Cargo Airlines flight 9826 from Dubai. I will be going sterile so that way we can enjoy the arrival. And there you have it. Emirates Sky Cargo Airlines 9826 from Dubai. Using up almost the entire length of the runway. That is one of our last major arrivals today. Oh, in aviation, that is no problem at all. Thank you for coming back. We're not far away from finishing now. We will be finishing the stream at approximately 4:30. Vinny and I are getting quite tired, so it's best that we get home. But we will continue to film until 4:30, as we have a few interesting aircraft that will be arriving soon. Do you live in Kaima, Owen? Or Tempe? Or Sydenham even? Alrighty, and coming in on runway 25 here at Sydney. Qantas Link flight 1411 from Toowoomba Wellcamp. Oh yeah, I used to live in Kaima when I was very young. I have very vivid memories of seeing these aircraft depart and arrive straight over my house. Taxiing straight at us, Rex Airlines flight 6178 from here in Sydney to Orange. This here is a Saab 340B Plus. However, don't get fooled, it's not a new aircraft. We have quite a lot of aircraft that are about to depart here. This is just the start. Directly behind it, we have Qantas Link Flight 2011 to Orange, and then after that, Velocity 858 to Melbourne, and then Velocity 957 to Brisbane, then Qantas 463 to Melbourne, and then finally Jetstar 521 to Melbourne. We have 6 departures, correction, all in the span of a few minutes. Starting off firstly with Rex 6178 bound for Orange. But first, we've got to wait for the arrival of Jetstar Flight 520 from Melbourne, a Airbus A321. And if you have seen the previous stream, this aircraft we have seen before. Here we go. Jetstar 520 from Melbourne, Tullamarine Airport. Hey Callum, how you doing, mate? Good to see you again. Not much longer left on the stream, I'm afraid. Owen Aviation, that sounds like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic time. I hope you enjoy it. Callum, no problem, mate. No worries at all. We've got approximately 25 to 30 minutes left of the stream. We have quite an interesting selection of airlines are about to land on runway 25 here at Sydney. There we go, Rex 6178 to Orange. Common error, you didn't miss much. $747 was good, Callum. I will show you a small clip of the video later. I'll be able to tell you which one's about to depart first, Owen Aviation. Firstly, about to arrive on runway 25 here at Sydney, Jetstar Flight 891 from Hervey Bay. We saw this aircraft depart earlier, approximately in the first half of the stream. Callum, at the moment, yes, it is a rather less interesting than usual. We haven't got a lot of interesting aircraft departing, but we do have a few interesting arrivals. Pulling on to runway 25 here at Sydney. Velocity 957 bound for Brisbane. And here we go, coming in on runway 25 here at Sydney. Air New Guinea, flight 1 from Port Moresby. This aircraft is also special as it is the 50 years livery. I was very fortunate to be able to fly this airline, and on first glance I thought it was going to be quite bad, but it turned out to be quite good, especially in business class. And pulling on onto the runway, velocity 858 bound for Melbourne. Here we go, coming in on runway 25 here at Sydney. Velocity 853 from Melbourne, a Boeing 737-700. You can also see just ahead of us is a Global 7500 with a green tail. Unfortunately, it's not on flight radar at the moment, but I'm sure it will appear in just a few minutes. Callum, no bagging out Sydney. And here we go, pulling onto the runway. Qantas Flight 463, bound for Melbourne. You are correct, Common Era. Sydney is very touristy. And coming in on runway 25, Qantas Flight 34 from Perth, as well as Paris, I believe. This aircraft is also in a special Yam Dreaming livery. I hope you enjoyed Owen Aviation. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Callum. 2.5 is pretty bad. 2.7's worse though. And pulling in on the runway, Jetstar Flight 521, also to Melbourne Tullamarine Airport. Callum, give it about an hour. This aircraft will be on your doorstep. And now, where will you be? And now coming in on runway 25 is Air New Zealand Flight 231 from Queenstown. Owen, Jetstar is not Shitstar. It's Good Star in my opinion. It's Gold Star. Ah, that's why. And here we go, coming in on runway 25, Air New Zealand 231 from Queenstown. This is an Airbus A320neo. Sideran, Jetstar also pays their employees the highest amount out of any Australian airline. Don't hate them until you try them. And taxiing straight at us is a Sri Lankan Airbus A330, one of the final departures of today's stream. And coming in on runway 25 here at Sydney, Qantas Flight 923 from Cairns, a Boeing 737-800. Player Rider Gaming, hello and welcome. Unfortunately, you've joined near the very end of our stream. I'm sorry you couldn't have watched the full thing, but enjoy the rest of it. I want them for a reason. Those aren't Kiwis, those are passion fruits. And straight in front of us is a Sri Lankan Airbus A330 bound for Colombo. This will be one of our final major departures of the day. Hopefully one day I get to fly on this airline. I don't know, actually. Let's find out. One way, $800. And here we go, one of the last arrivals for the stream. Coming in on runway 25 here at Sydney, Qantas Flight 729 from Ayers Rock or Uluru. It's smoke. Common error, I'm so sorry to hear that. And here we go, Sri Lankan Airlines Flight 607 bound for Colombo. Total flight distance of 4,731 nautical miles. Should get there around 10 p.m. tonight, Colombo time, or around 2 a.m. Sydney time. Well, guys, on behalf of this man here, my cameraman, Vinny, and myself, I'd like to thank you all so much for sticking around on the stream. It's been an absolute pleasure to present to you. And again, thank you for 3,000 subscribers. It truly means the world to me.